Atlas, and we welcome you to a sold-out Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey for tonight's main event. 12 rounds of middleweight action between the Latin Snake Sergio Mora and Amin Asikainen. Sergio Mora's ring walk, he just exudes confidence, carrying himself like a champion. Amin Asikainen's now making his way to the ring, and you can see how focused he is for the task at hand.
Fellas, you remember my instructions in the dressing room? Let's have a good, clean fight, all right? Touch him up and come out fighting.
Everybody's been waiting for these two to meet up. Now they do, as round one is underway. What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by Sergio Mora. Able to block that away. It was targeted for his head. Good defense. Oh! Sergio Mora's legs look shaky. He was hurt. Back and forth exchange. We always see great athletes week in and week out, but Teddy, what sport do you think can produce the best boxers?
Well, believe it or not, basketball. Everybody would say football. We saw Too Tall Jones. He got demolished by little guys. We saw Gastineau. He got demolished. We saw Highsmith. He got demolished. A lot of football players haven't done well, but basketball players, they have the physical skill sets where they can...
Wow! Oh, he is stunned. He could go down. Oh, that's gotta hurt. One shot and down, Teddy.
And now he's gonna have to find a way to clinch. He needs time to recover.
One, two, three, four, go!
He went down from a big shot. Now he's got to have some big guts to move along.
You're gonna find out exactly what he's made of.
Oh, and there you go. Good defense turns to offense. Superb counter by Sergio Mora. Last 10 seconds of this first round. Well-placed double jab. End of the round there, a round in which we did see the knockdown. And Teddy, when a fighter comes back to the corner, having just been floored, typically how are they acting? What are you seeing out of them?
Just imagine you just walked into a room and somebody hit you from behind. You dropped. You're afraid to go in that room again. So put a light on in that room and explain to him why he got dropped. He will not be afraid to go back in that room.
Straight right. Pull the jab and then straight down the middle. Got that jab, right. We'll take care of the swelling. Just focus.
So here we are, all wondering, can he survive the start of this round after the way we saw him go down in that last round?
Well, it's up to his opponent. Now, his opponent gets a little careless and he rushes in a little bit too close. He could get a chance to grab those hands and tie him up. And then he can kill a little of the clock, survive.
Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Here's one for you now, he says, right back with the left hand. blocks that punch. Halfway through round number 2. Oh, good stuff there. 2 in a row by Amin Asikainen. Sergio able to land a good counter punch. Oh, and there you go. Sergio Mora is almost out of it there. He was stunned. Oh, that's gotta hurt. What a forceful hook to the body by Sergio Mora. Sergio Mora with a counter punch. Sergio Mora's corner will really need to get after that swelling. The end of the round has arrived. And now an opportunity for the trainer here to get his hands on his guy. His guy just got tagged pretty good there. And when he looks into his eyes, what is he looking for?
Well, first of all, he's looking to see whether or not his guy is still there. You know, he got stunned pretty good. And then what he has to do is make sure his guy is listening to him and telling him, hey, look, you got caught. You've been caught before. This is the way we can fix it. This is what you got to do to correct things.
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard. And now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Notre Dame to know that. I mean, everybody saw it.
Wow! Sergio Mora stunned and staggered. He was damaged moments ago, but now he's got his feet back underneath him. Amin Asikainen's box is not going to the body at all. He'd be so well served to do it, though, Teddy.
Yeah, but his opponent doesn't want him to. So, you know, he doesn't want to go against what his opponent doesn't want him to do. Because his opponent would love him to keep throwing to the head because, you know, he can see those coming. He can move and avoid them. Body shots, you know, your head moves, but your body doesn't.
Sergio Mora with a counter punch. He got hit right there, but he also gave one. Solid. There it is. What a shot. Big hook comes in. Not hitting his mark there going upstairs.
All right, come on now. Come on, work it out. Work it out. See some punches here.
Sergio Mora's eye, to me, is getting worse as things continue on here. Teddy, he's got to be very conscious of that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and his corner has to be, too. They got to be thinking about if it gets to the point where he can't defend himself, they have to do something. Obviously, they didn't come here thinking they were going to have to do. Stop this fight.
Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Back up top he goes. Well, the end of the round is upon us. And oh boy, we need to catch our breath ourselves.
Now, these guys are not shy about introducing themselves. They came right out at the beginning. They said hello with punches, punches in bunches.
Great exchanges we've seen so far.
Listen, I need to see more counter punches, okay? Whenever he misses, counter. You gotta give me the double jab. You're not giving me the double jab.
So here we are, a new round underway, and in that last round, he got tagged. He got hit pretty hard, Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. Now, the first thing is, we all know he got caught, but why did he get caught? He has to be able to decipher that in his head. He has to be able to have the answer to that so it doesn't happen again.
How about a return to sender with the left hand? See, he's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head. Keeping his hands up, getting way of his opponent's effort. There's another left hand from him. On the mark with the overhand right. 90 seconds to go in round number 4. Now he's getting into a groove. You can tell he just landed a 3-punch combination. Off the mark there. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Sergio able to land a good counter punch. Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by Sergio Mora.
Keep working the body.
Good looking counter punch. End of the round here, and as I glance around ringside and look at the judges, I'm wondering what they're writing down, because that was a tough round to score.
Yeah, it was, and you know, it's the kind of round where one guy would be really smart to take a page out of the book of Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, where Leonard stole rounds at the end, where he just clipped off 30 seconds, and that's exactly what the judges remembered.
Okay, listen to me. When he misses you with a punch, counter. You have to start doubling that jab, okay? Double that jab. That will put us in position.
Teddy, what do you think here as we start this round? I mean, you watch what he did in that last round, and you got to think that he can get himself back into this fight.
Well, that's how he's got to be thinking it. That's kind of what he's made up of. He's not a front runner. You know, he's not a fast starter anyway. He's the kind of guy that his real strength is to be able to wear you down, to have a great resolve, and to be able to chip away. He's chipping.
I would assume there has to come a point in this fight where he has to make the commitment to throw the power punches. It's hard to envision a way he's going to win this fight without going down that road.
He doesn't have the confidence to do it. I don't know if he's mentally strong enough to do it. I think he's worried about throwing hard at the guy because maybe in his mind that means the guy will throw hard back at him.
Takes one, but gives one. Good work by Amin Asikainen. Halfway through this round here. Good clean shot, returning fire. Well done by Amin Asikainen.
Keep your hand up.
Sergio Mora is doing a good job tonight on the outside. He's able to score from the outside, keeping a safe distance away from his opponent. Sergio Mora's strategy has been to control things on the outside, and the jab fits perfectly in.
Yeah, what it's done is it's set up his defense, it's kept his opponent defensive, kept him off balance, off stride, and it's also set up his power shots whenever he's wanted to.
Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by Amin Asikainen. There's a taste of the sweet science. You see the skill he has in counterpunching.
And you know what he's doing is taking his opponent's jab away.
Wow! Good counter punch by Amin Asikainen.
He's hurt. Get him this round. Let's work on that swell. Listen, I'm not going to stand here and watch you take those shots, you understand me? Let's see some defense and more punches. Okay, listen. Body and head.
Another round underway, but how many more will we see? You get the sense this fight could be heading towards a stoppage. Blocks that belt line well. Amin Asikainen's got a bad cut now that's opened up on his cheek. not able to land the headshot. Great pace to this fight, Teddy. These guys are not coming out of fifth gear. Nobody's slowing down.
No, they're fighting a 6th, 7th, and 8th gear.
Is not in good shape. He could be on the deck in moments. He's in bad shape. Maybe a punch or two more, and he's on the canvas. Teddy, what does he need to think about now?
Well, one of the things that he can't think about, he'd love to run away. He'd love to get away from what's hurting him. His legs are not solid enough, so he's going to have to find a way to tie up.
Unable to land that shot. Sergio Mora is well conditioned to the realities of this harsh business of boxing. But even though we know what we've seen out of some ringside scorecards through the years, I'd be shocked if everybody doesn't have him ahead in this fight right now.
Yeah, but never be shocked in this business because you never know with these blind judges sometimes. I hate to say it that bluntly, but time and time again, you just get shocked when you hear the score at the end of the night.
Just 10 seconds to go in this round. Sergio Mora with a counterpunch. Teddy, making predictions in boxing is often a dangerous task, but I'll make one right here that seems pretty obvious to me as we come to the end of that round here. This fight is going to be a brutal display as long as it lasts.
It's kind of like going and watching that home run contest. Nobody's trying to hit singles or doubles. You know they're all going for the fences.
Lean to the side, then boom, counterpunch. You have to double the jab, all right? Look, he's timing you.
6 rounds in the books, 6 to go. Good defense, just covering up down low.
Keep moving, keep moving. Up and down, side to side.
Dismisses his opponent's headshot. Sergio Mora is doing a nice job being comfortable on the outside. Boy, you gotta love being his opponent, right? You come into a fight like this tonight, you're so worried about getting off your punches, landing accurate punches. Well, here it is. Not gonna move the head at all. Come and get it.
No, you just have to worry about you don't hurt your hands. You better hope that you wrap them real good because you're banging that nugget all night long.
From both men, they each got a shot in. Sergio Mora's ability to properly throw and land his combinations has been stunning. Teddy, why is he so successful?
Because you just said it, he's putting them together. You know, 1 or 2 wouldn't land, but he's handcuffing the guy. And the first 2 punches, they set up the 3rd and 4th.
Comes right back at him with a left hand. Punches in bunches and some serious damage being done.
He's putting them together beautifully.
Blocks that belt line well. Took a shot, now he gives a left. Amin Asikainen's cheek is ripped open right there. You can see the cut. So we come to the end of the round, and clearly a confidence booster for this man. He got to his opponent. He was able to stun him. Teddy, when a fighter comes back after doing what he just did, do you see them almost light up, like get a little boost of energy because of that?
Yeah, it does build your confidence a little bit. You know, it makes you feel more secure. I can control this man. I had my way.
Listen, he's done. He's done. I want you to double up on that jab, then finish off with a hook, okay? 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Let's get on that slow. Get the
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, It was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Notre Dame to know that. I mean, everybody saw, he got staggered, his knees buckled, did a little dance there. But what you have to really know now is know why you got hit and correct that immediately.
Blocks that punch. Wow, is he defensively sound. Good counter punch. Amin Asikainen's doing exactly what he told us he would do. Now, he was stunned earlier in this fight, but he's sticking to that game plan.
I like that. I want to see how a guy behaves under pressure. He hasn't panicked, He still believes in his identity, believes in his talents, his abilities, and he's going to stay that way unless the guy convinces him later on.
Taste of the sweet science. You see the skill he has in counterpunching.
And you know what he's doing is taking his opponent's jab away.
This is why we love the sport, Teddy. I mean, this is just back and forth action nonstop.
Well, Joe, when special events have happened in history, you remember where you are. Right now, I'm going to remember where I was during this fight. I'm watching a special epic right in front of me.
Oh, and there you go. He is damaged badly there. He may hit the floor.
Punch it out, guys.
What a good war this has been. What a good, solid fight it's been. The kind of fight that tells me somebody wants to get rid of the other guy.
It almost looks like they made a deal where neither one could win by decision, where if they didn't win by knockout, it doesn't count.
Nice one. Nice one. Keep it up. This guy never felt a beating like this. Keep the pressure up. Jab. Jab and throw. Throw to the body, then to the head. Then finish to the body. Yeah.
Another round. Will it go in another one-way direction? It's been a one-sided fight so far tonight. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. Amin Asikainen's offense has nearly left the building, but that has a lot to do with the fact that he was hurt earlier. He got tagged.
Now he's got to find a way to be defensive, to make sure he survives, clears those cobwebs out a little bit, but he's got to reconnect the offense before it's too late.
Defense upstairs to stay away from that offensive assault. Counter punch by Mora. Sergio Mora has shown us that if he pulls this trigger, he's hitting that target. His accuracy is great.
Well, that's part of his ability. I mean, it's not just his hand speed and that he's technically good. He's got a little bit of pop, but he knows when to throw. See, that's important, Joe. Knowing when to let the hands go. He knows.
Wow! Oh, he is stunned. He could go down. Sergio Mora is now pushing away a bit. He's creating some space. Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top. Covers up nicely, gets rid of his opponent's body shot. Amin Asikainen's got a real problem on his hands now, Teddy. I think the cut is actually worsening around his eye. He has to do a better job of watching out for that. Has to protect that eye.
Yeah, what he has to do now is give his corner man, his cut man, a chance for his work to be accomplished. In other words, there's been coagulants, chemicals put into that eye. Now the fighter has to move a little bit, be elusive, and allow those chemicals, those medicines to work.
that round. You're in control. Next round, let's keep busy. Let's get on that swelling. Get the compress on that.
Back to action now. We're underway in what has been a completely one-sided fight. You get the sense this one may not go the distance. Good way to protect the midsection. The tactical game paying off. You can see the counter punch.
Yeah, you see the counter punch, but you know what I see? I see a little tentativeness now in him because he's afraid to let anything go because when he misses, bang, it gets caught.
Listen, he's still being highly competitive, even though you would have to think, if you're judging this fight at all, that he's way behind. Does that give him hope that still there's a chance that he can score the knockout and get this win?
Yeah, because his attitude is still there. He hasn't given up on himself. And as long as you haven't given up on yourself, you always have a chance where one punch can separate that guy from his consciousness.
Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand.
Keep working the body.
Able to dismiss that body shot. Blocks that belt line well. Sergio Mora with a counter punch. Sergio Mora is showing that he's got some defense of his own. He got away from that punch. How about a return to sender with the left hand? Able to cover up that gut. I don't know, Teddy. It just feels like one of those nights, one of those fights where somebody's getting hurt, where this is not going to the judges' scorecards.
I feel like I'm in Coney Island watching one of those hot dog eating contests where somebody's going to try to eat 50 of them, 60 of them. In other words, he's not worried how he's going to feel at the end of the night.
Listen, you need to move your head more, side to side, okay? I want to see that head move more. Get the compress on, that. Let's work on the swelling. Can we work on the swelling?
The action starts up again, but it's only favored one man. Hard to see this fight going the distance based on what we've witnessed so far. Targets a counter overhand right. Teddy, I guess they wanted it. Look at this action going right out there, wasting no time.
No, these guys are impatient. They couldn't wait to get at each other.
Oh, everybody will tell you, you can't get away with that. What a big, wide, sweeping whiff that was.
Well, you can get away with it if the guy doesn't want to throw back, but if this guy wants to start throwing back, then you're not getting away with it.
Sergio able to land a good counter punch. Protecting his head well with his guard. Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Takes one to give one. He comes back with a right hand. What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by Amin Asikainen. Sergio Mora with a counter punch. A little give and take, and here comes the left hand. Round comes to an end here. And Teddy, I know you've had a very busy week. You've been training some pro football players this week. There are many parallels to be made between the pro fight game and the pro football game.
Yeah, there are, physical ones and emotional and mental ones. I mean, the physical ones are when I work with some of these behemoths, like offensive linemen. They have to punch out, with their arms. They have to make sure that they get those hands out now. If they raise their elbows, just like a fighter raising his elbow before he throws a jab, they lose the power. So you got to teach them keep those elbows in, punch out without any telegraph, without any loss of power, and also get those hands out at the right distance. If they're a little late, the big guy gets in on them, and now he can control him. And of course, the mental aspects of it, where they get into those dark rooms we talk about every once in a while, where they have to remember that they have control. They can make the choice. You get in those dark rooms, you start to think that you lose control of the choice, that your opponent's making a choice for you. No, that's not the truth.
Parries that punch away. Takes one, but gives one. Good work by Sergio Mora. Tucks those elbows in, blocks the body shot. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. To go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. Great movement to get away from those punches. Blocks that punch. Last round of an entertaining fight. Now, for the judges' scores, let's send it up to the ring announcer. Sergio Mora is your winner by unanimous decision. All three judges giving it to him.
I didn't agree with the judges completely, but they got the right guy winning.
For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. That does it ringside. We'll see you next time.